everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm Advika. Today I came with new video on the occasion of 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi ji, it is not only a name, it is an inspiration. Now let us know the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. Here you can see some images of Mahatma Gandhi. The full name of Gandhi ji is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He was a victorious, non-violent fighter. Gandhi ji was born on 2nd October 1869 in Porbandar. After his school studies, he went to England to study law in the age of 18. He was a popular lawyer. He practiced law for 3 years in India and 20 years in South Africa. Now, let us know a few incidents that happened in his life. Once, when Gandhiji was in school, an educational inspector visited the school. Now, I will give you some English words. Everyone should write it. While writing, Mohan did not know the spelling for a word. Mohan, if you do not know, copy from your friend. But Mohan did not like to copy. Everyone had written all words except Mohan. Teacher scolded him. Too, he felt sad. He thought what he had done was right. Incident 2. Once, Mohan started smoking. For that purpose, he started to take loan and steal. The loan amount increased. To repay the loan, he stole a piece of gold from his mother's jewels and repaid the loan. But he felt guilty for what he had done. From that day, he decided not to steal and he wrote everything what he had done on a piece of paper and gave it to his father, who was in his deathbed. When his father read it, he tore the paper without uttering a word. Mohan felt terribly sad and tears rolled down. From that day, he decided to only speak the truth. Incident 3. When Gandhi was in South Africa, Indians were treated very badly. Indians will be called as coolie. One day, Gandhi was traveling in a train in first class. A European who boarded the same compartment pushed out the coolie. A guard pushed him out. He stayed there throughout that cold night. This incident seeded the thought of Satyagraha in his mind. Next day, when he continued his journey, he sat behind the coachman to avoid further problems. But when an official arrived there, get down, sit on the luggage. Gandhi refused. The officer started beating him while other passengers interfered and made Gandhi to sit behind the coachman. Following this incident, Gandhi was called for a public meeting and wished to start a committee. This brought awareness among the people. He followed non-violence and Satyagraha and got freedom for India. Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation. An epitome of non-violence and patriotism, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi led the nation and secured independence for India. He studied law in England and became a barrister before he left England. He promised his mother 3 things. He would not touch non-vegetarian food, he would not look at any woman with lust, and he would not touch alcohol. In 1893, he left for South Africa to argue a case. On the way in the train, he was thrown out and insulted for daring to travel as co-passenger of a white man. When he went to South Africa, he witnessed the sad fate of the Indians there who had gone as laborers. To protest against oppression of the Indians and the unjust laws, Gandhiji started Satyagraha in 1915. He returned to India, studied the Indian environment for a year, and decided to jump into freedom struggle. Champaran in Bihar was the first test case of Satyagraha. The government was compelled to look into the matter of injustice meted out the poor indigo planters. This made Gandhiji more popular. Gradually, he became the leader of leaders. Gandhiji infused in the masses a spirit of fearlessness to stand against the repression, whether it was lathi charge or firing or imprisonment. The passing of Act in 1919 was for the arbitrary arrest and imprisonment of the nationalists. Gandhiji launched an anti-Rowlatt Satyagraha on a mass scale. Two leaders, Dr. Saifuddin Kichlev and Dr. Satyapal, led to the protest and British banned public meetings. In 1919, unaware of this ban, at Jallianwala Bagh, the people of Amritsar held a meeting to protest the arrest. General Dyer blocked the escape route and ordered indiscriminate shooting. Hundreds of people were trapped and killed. The whole nation was in shock. After the First World War, Britain imposed humiliating terms on Sultan of Turkey, who was the Caliph of the Islam. This angered the Muslims, who started Khilafat movement against the Caliph. When violence broke out in Chauri Chora, Gandhiji suspended the non-cooperation movement. He was arrested. Congress members Rajendra Prasad, C. Rajagopalachari, C. R. Das and Motilal Nehru gave full support to Gandhiji. In 1927, the Simon Commission constituted the Review the Government of India Act of 1919. No Indian member was included in the commission. The Congress adopted complete independence as its goal. Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the president of Congress, adopted the resolution of Purna Swaraj. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. As the first step, Dandi March followed. This was to break the unjust law that stopped people from making salt. The Salt Satyagraha was meant to unite people. By the Salt March, Gandhiji wanted people to know that there were many poor people who could not afford to buy even a pinch of salt. Dandi and other Indian coasts had free salt, but it was banned to be used by an Indian. So Gandhiji made salt at Dandi. The British again arrested Gandhiji. Sarojini Naidu then led the Satyagraha. Abbas Tyabji helped Mr. Sarojini Naidu. Even women stepped out for their houses to support the movement. When the Round Table Conference bore no positive results, Gandhiji decided to relaunch the movement. Fearing the worst, British arrested him. Indian Congress was branded as illegal. To make matters worse, the British brought out communal award, whereby the untouchables would be given separate treatment from the higher caste Hindus. They were given the right to choose their representatives through election. This right the British had already given to the Muslims. Thus, 3 voting lists came up. The divide and rule policy thus further divided Hindus into two groups. Dr. Ambedkar, though initially believed the political concession would be yet better result for the untouchables, later come around to accept Gandhiji's views. Gandhiji went on a fast unto death against the communal award. Ultimately, Gandhiji's fast led to the provision of a joint of electoral rate for all Hindu with reservation of seats for depressed classes. Gandhiji named the untouchable as Harijans, or the people of good. The Harijan movement had its headquarters of Sabarmati Ashram, a unique personality. Gandhiji preached what he practiced: simple living and high thinking were his basic beliefs. He believed in non-violence in thought, words, and actions. He said that the violence is the law of jungle. Ahimsa, or non-violence, was the soul, he said. He wanted to popularize Khadi. He could totally and easily identify himself with poor illiterate masses. Their problem was his problem. Throughout his life, his main support was his wife Kasturba. You cannot beat or lathi charge a person when he or she reacts to your insult. But what will you do if the victims of your lathi charge keep quiet with fortitude and courage? This is what happened against the British. In 1942, when Japan threatened to attack India, Gandhiji called for a nationwide satyagraha. He asked the British to quit India and called out the people to do or die. This united the Indians. Muhammad Ali Jinnah wanted a separate state for the Muslims. Once more, fighter Subhash Chandra Bose, who believed in the use of force to get freedom, organized the Indian National Army. He died in an air crash. India became independent on 15th August 1947. While the entire nation was enjoying its newfound freedom, the man most responsible for it, Mahatma Gandhi, was away in Calcutta, comforting the victims of Hindu and Muslim clashes. The apostle of peace that he is, Gandhiji vowed to bring together the Hindus and the Muslims. But on January 30, 1942, he was shot dead while he was on his way to evening prayers in Delhi. Gandhiji lived and died for the country. Bapu, as he is rightly remembered as the father of the nation. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.